Hello YouTube, Brian Tubbs coming at you with another video. Today I'm working on piece Heart of Man. I showed you guys on a previous video I was working on your centerpiece. I was about to mount it to the base. As you can see, the base for this next Heart of Man is right here. It's all stainless steel, weighs close to 100 pounds. I think it's around 3/8 thickness on the stainless steel. And these are the arms for it that I'm in the process of Tig welding together. I have one clamped to the table, and this is the other one. They kind of sit on the base, and the centerpiece is in here, and of course the other one comes down here, so it looks like almost like a heart. So we named it the Heart of Man, because the center is going to have a red street light lens on both sides and stainless steel ring around it. So I'll be, like I said, TIG welding it up today. And I'll let you guys just see a little bit of that. Then after that, I'll have to move on with the grinding, and I'll put the centerpiece in here, and I'll probably shoot another video of me doing that, and showing you guys how I do it. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing in this video. Is just kind of TIG welding that up, just kind of giving you guys a heads up on where I am, kind of in the process. I'm gonna just turn you guys around so you can see some of the bigs, as we call them, big outdoor pieces that I have sitting here. I'm going to just kind of spin it around. Now if you look, I guess on my left, it's the shorter piece. That is the piece we call silhouette, sitting on the very edge. And then the piece next to it, if you remember, this piece is a piece that I was working on a couple of videos ago. We call it Odyssey. It was just the centerpiece there, extending up, and that the design thing on the top, but it was too narrow. So what we did was we added these extensions where these arms are coming off, just to give it more width. So when it's standing out in someone's field or yard or in front of their business, you'll be able to see more from a distance. It won't just be this centerpiece. This piece through here, again, that's sprout. And this piece is slope, we call it slope. This piece is called Eternal Flame. And I'll kind of spin it around here. This last piece is called Reaching. It's probably about 7 feet 8 inches, something like that. All these are stainless steel, core 10 blend. Like on this piece, all core 10 with stainless steel in here, in the opening. So those are just a few of the bigs we have out. You can see in the distance there, my trailer is there. I have some more pieces in there. Maybe 3 more pieces in there. And then I have a few more pieces kind of hidden. So I'm going to spin you guys back around this way. So what I'll be doing, I'll be using, I'm going to use 309 stainless steel TIG rod. I can use 308, I can use 316, but I went to the supply house and bought 10 pounds of 309 stainless steel rod. And I bought like a pound of 308. So what I'm going to do is just use the 309 since I have 10 pounds of it. Just weld this up. And then after that, of course, I'll go to the grinding process. I won't be able to do all that in this video. I'll just kind of get started with the TIG welding of this piece. And again, the thing with TIG welding, a lot of people like to see dimes dropped, but in this case, I'm going to be grinding it off anyway. So my mission and goal is just to get it done as fast as I can. I will be dipping the TIG rod in some areas. In some areas, I'll just be fusing two pieces together. So I'll see if I can bring you guys in a little bit closer. And the thing with TIG welding, this stuff is just get it as comfortable as you can, and just have your area kind of clean. Of course, my area is never clean because I'm doing so many different things. I'm going from one project to another to another to another. Always have stuff kind of scattered. I know I go on some YouTube sites and their workspace is tidy and clean and all that stuff, but evidently either they're not doing a whole lot of work, or they have another workshop away from where they're filming everything. Like I've said before, I want to try and keep my videos as realistic as possible, so that you can see kind of what goes on in a shot like this. Alright, so I'm gonna get my helmet down, get it focused in, and get the show on the road. Welding, TIG welding at least, you should always try to find a way to prop your arm, so you're not, your torch is not moving up and down and dipping into the puddle. Every time you dip in the puddle, you gotta get up, go to your sharpening device, whether it's a grinder or a tungsten sharpener or whatever it is. You gotta stop what you're doing to do that. So if you can't kind of prop your arm, your wrist, so you can always kind of stay in a good position. I have this clamped down on this end, center, and this end, because if you don't, it's going to want to twist. And twists are okay or good for some pieces, but for this piece I can't have any twist. It has to be perfectly flat, both pieces. Alright, let's fire this up. Right now it's 65 amps. I'll probably have to kick that up a bit. I just want to see how it flows. Not too bad so far. following. I like to have this fit up pretty tight. Not many gaps in here. It's fit up pretty tight, which is what you want when you take it. Put a new glass on my helmet this morning, and I'm welding with it for the first time. It was so clear that I couldn't understand why the welds were, the colors were so clean, so clear and clean. Normally my face shield is so dirty from spatter and everything else, I can barely see. This is a Weld coat, digital helmet. I had a guy at the store put some Evil Knievel graphics on it just to change it up a little bit. Really nice helmet. Really nice. We're Lincoln helmets. I'll put this Weld coat against any helmet, Miller, it doesn't matter. This is a really, really nice helmet. It wasn't cheap. It's a nice one. Guys, I think I'm going to try to bring you in a little bit closer. I will be out of the view of the camera for a minute. I just want to try and get you in a little bit closer to the action so you can see a little better what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't forget to refocus the camera. I'm showing you guys a close-up. Alright, so I'm just going to follow this line. Notice I have a little block. Keep moving forward. So I'm resting my arm on that block. I'm resting my arm on this piece. That's super hot. Where I'm going. Trying to do when I find areas that are really tight, I am I'll dip and I'll push. Yeah, take this out just a little bit. So what I'm trying to do is I'll dip and then I'll try and push puddle. And when I see a little gap opening up, I'll add a little Tig Welding. Because what I'm trying to do is when I'm pushing the puddle, see the puddle not only move forward, but I want to see the puddle flowing down into the gap area. Because what that's doing is melding the two separate pieces together. When you TIG weld it, you don't want to just push the puddle. You want to see that puddle moving forward, kind of dipping down, pouring down into your gap. Just so you know that your pieces are actually joining together. You're not just cold welding. Alright, here we go. Almost to the end. Outside edge, I'm moving to the inside edge. Actually, I think I'll do this area here, and I'll move back down, back. When you're TIG welding and you get toward the edge or to the end, like the end of like a corner, sharp corner, what I'll normally do is come off the pedal to reduce some of my heat. And I'll add some more rod. I'll push the rod in, trying to build that edge or that corner up so that it won't burn off. And then after I'm done welding, I'll grind it and make that edge just as smooth as the rest. Because you don't want smooth surface, then I'll just something just drop off. You don't want that. So all like I say, all along the way, I'm just kind of dabbing my rod in, dabbing. When I get to the edge, I'll dab and I'll push the rod in. Trying to build that edge, like I said, build it up so it won't burn completely out. Alright, here we go. Alright. Edge, I pushed it in, built it up. I started here in this corner, pushed it in and built it up, and then took off. When you do it right, you learn TIG welding. It's one of the most peaceful things you can do as far as welding. It's so quiet, you can focus, thinking of other things, watching the puddle. It's just an awesome way to weld. I like MIG welding, but I like TIG welding more. Especially when things are going right and not blowing holes and all the other craziness. Alright, here we go. Bit more. And I do MIG weld, but I don't MIG weld as much as I used to, because when you MIG weld, I mentioned it before on one of my videos, when you MIG weld, you have tight gaps weld wants to kind of sit on top. When you grind it off, you see pinholes, you see the line from where you put the two pieces together. You see that line. So it's best to make welds leave a slight little gap. So when you weld it, the gap is about the thickness of your wire, your MIG wire. So when you're welding it, you'll have a chance to fill in that gap a little better. But you can do that, but some areas are going to have a wider gap and some areas are going to be really tight. It just depends on how things are rolled out. So I TIG weld more because I don't have the gaps. Dirty low areas because I had an overhang here on this back wall. Took a plasma cutter, cut it. Well, taking the cutoff wheel. And a couple of areas went kind of low on the back wall, so I have to build it up as I weld it. The TIG rod is getting kind of short. Going to do, take this piece I'm using, fuse them together, take these and fuse it to a new rod. So the way you do it, lay it on your flat welding surface, put them together, butt them together, tight together. Take your jig rod, point it right at it. Look at your pedal. Your jig rod will come on, but just hit the pedal lightly, just enough to get the arc. And once you get the arc going, and hit your pedal full blast, and they come off real fast. And your pieces will melt right together. If you don't do it that way, if you go in and try and go full blast right away, one rod is going to run that way, the other one is going to run that way. You have two big balls. So what you do is you just get your arc started, and then you blast it. Saw my welding instructors do it, but I didn't ask the question, how were they doing it? And it took trial and error to finally figure out how they were doing it. I thought they were just blasting, bam, full blast, full amp. But no, they were ease on, they would blast. And it saves you a lot of rod. Because before I was doing this, I had rod laying everywhere. I had full lengths of rod and pieces laying all over the floor. Now that I do this, I just put them all together and I have, just full rod. I don't have a lot of waste right around the floor. All right, guys, I'm gonna finish this little run here, and I'm gonna take it from there. The reason I like TIG welding more than the MIG welding when doing stuff like this is TIG welds are a lot softer than MIG welds. So when I'm grinding away the welds, I can do it probably half the time when I'm grinding TIG welds as I do when I'm grinding MIG welds. MIG welds, if your setting is not right, the weld to be is going to stand taller. TIG weld, it's just harder. It's just a harder weld wire. And I learned when I was working on classic car, restoring a classic car. I learned that the pros like to TIG weld the panels more so than they like MIG welding the panels. And the reason they like TIG welding the panels, like quarter panels or fenders, or putting hatches on, whatever, it's because after they've welded everything together, they take the hammers and dollies and start shaping the metal. And when they use a TIG welder to weld the panel, since the weld is softer, easier to shape the metal with your hammer and dolly with a TIG weld than it is with a MIG weld, because the MIG weld is harder. It's harder to shape it, harder to get it to bend because it's hard. With TIG weld, you get it, it's almost like just welding the panel itself. So there are benefits to TIG welding over MIG, but with the MIG, it can be a lot faster. Alright guys, so there it is. It's the side is all welded up. Now what I'm going to do, allow it to sit here for 10-15 minutes. Let it cool down under the clamps. I do not want to remove the clamps and let it cool without the clamps, because it'll start moving, twisting. So doing something like this, after you weld it, and you've had it clamped down, it'll adjust the camera out. So once you've had it all clamped down, welded it, you want to leave it clamped until it cools, because like I said, if I don't do that, that heat is going to want to twist it. Stainless steel is one of the worst when it comes to warping and twisting when you're welding it. So you really have to kind of speed through it as much as you can without putting too much heat into it. Like my heat affected zone over here is even all the way around. And the reason being is that I kept my TIG torch about 1/8 of an inch, between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch on the high side, 1/8 of an inch is about where I had it. I kept my tip my TIG torch about 1/8 of an inch from the piece that I was working at. 1/4 of an inch every now and then, because I was getting closer to the clamps and I would have to kind of raise up or do something like that. So the key, one of the keys to TIG welding and doing it fairly right or decent or good is your distance away from your workpiece. Had I been 1/2 inch, 3/4 away from my workpiece, my heat affected zone would have been a lot wider, which would have been spreading heat further away from where I was welding, which would have caused my piece to want to start warping. So the key to a good bead and controlling your heat is to keep the tip of your TIG torch tungsten as close to your workpiece as possible. Just kind of floating across it. That's why I was saying it's good to have a prop. Prop your wrist on, your arm on. I have a prop for this arm, and I use this piece of aluminum cube that I'm making to prop this arm on. So when I'm holding the TIG torch, I'm not too low, because if I'm too low, and I'm trying to dip, and I have beads from where I've tacked it. So I tacked it all the way around with my MIG welder, just holding place. So if I'm too low, I'm focused on my torch, puddle, and I'm dipping, but if my rod is sitting on top of an tack, it's going to be too high to dip. So now, my tungsten is pointing at the rod and not at the puddle, and my rod is balling up. And if I'm not able to dip rod into that puddle, I can blow a hole into the piece. So that's why I want to be propped up, so I'm coming in more at this angle, not flat. I'm not straight up and down unless I have to be, more this angle. Just keeping in front of my rod in the puddle zone, in that heat area, so it is ready to dip when I push it. Another thing is, by keeping your tip in the puddle area, it's in the gas zone, which is keeping the atmosphere away from it. Because if you have your TIG rod too far from your puddle, it's hot. It's going to want to suck atmosphere, all the contaminants around it, into it. So now you're dipping or introducing contamination to your puddle. So that's kind of where we are today. So I'm going to have to end this video. But if you tune into the next video, it'll be a continuation of this, but it's going to be when I introduce the center piece, the actual heart, into the two arms. I'll show you guys kind of how I do it. And I'm trying to remember how I did it myself, because it's been about a month and a half, 2 months since I did the first one. And like I said, that was the first one. We had never done that piece before. So I got to kind of go back in memory to figure out how I did it. I shot a video, like I said before, on it, but it was further along in the process. I had already put the center heart portion between the two arms. In the video I made, I was getting ready to put the top portion onto the face. So it's going to be a little process of remembering exactly how I did it, but that's the fun part of doing what we do. We're always doing something new and different. It's always a challenge, and it keeps you thinking. So, alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Again, I'm working on the heart of man. And then again, part 2 of this will be putting the centerpiece into the arm. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. tune in for the next one as I continue with this piece. Alright guys, peace out.